What's up, YouTube? We got a yo-yo review today. This is the YoYoFactory Confusion. That's right, YoYoFactory Confusion. YoYoFactory put out a responsive yo-yo, and holy crap is this thing fun. Honest to God, I have not actually put this down since I got it. It showed up on Thursday, and I've been playing with it since then. As you can see, it's already got some love marks just from being responsive. For whatever reason, I beat up responsive yo-yos, and they all get these little pings and dings. But this thing is phenomenal. So let's talk about it a little bit. So the diameter of this yo-yo is 55.95 millimeters. The width is a very slim 34.95 millimeters. The gap width is 2.75 millimeters, and it weighs in at 55.7 grams, which is pretty much perfect for a responsive yo-yo. Comes with a size A bearing, and that's the small YoYoFactory response pads, so the same ones that would be in the Loop 360, or Loop 720, that's what it is, Loop 720. And designed in the USA, made in China. And I don't know who's doing YoYoFactory's machining now, or if whomever was doing it stepped up their game, or whatever, but YoYoFactory's been putting out some crazy good machined yo-yos, and this is no exception. And at only 40 bucks, this is probably the most fun $40 you could spend right now. Honest to God, this thing is super fun. The other really cool thing about the Confusion is it comes with like thick pads installed, so it's really responsive out of the gate, but there's thinner pads in here, and you can lube the bearing, and it'll almost be unresponsive, although the gap would be very tiny. But it even comes with the little bit thinner white pads that aren't as grippy. These are like grippy, thick pads in here, and we'll show you when we take them apart. But you could put the other pads in there and make it more unresponsive, or just a more like semi-unresponsive, kind of more like the other slimline yo-yos that have been coming out lately. Think the Deep State, or the Corco Alley Cat, sort of like that, sort of just a little bit less responsive. I chose to leave mine pretty responsive. It comes out of the box about as responsive as the Gamer was, with the thin bearing in it. But once you kind of break those responsive pads in, it gets just about perfect, and it kind of gives you still enough tug response to stall and do all that stuff very easily, but just enough slip, like just enough gap to still be able to do some sort of, like, I don't want to call them beginner string tricks, but like some mounts into some like breakaway and flyaway like returns and stuff. And it's just, man, is this thing fun. It's so good. And I really like that it came responsive right out of the box, like very responsive, because it's easy to get a yo-yo to play less responsive because you just play with the pads, either shave them down or you replace them or whatever, but it's really hard to get a yo-yo to play more responsive. At least it's harder to get a yo-yo to play more responsive. So this comes very responsive out of the box, responsive enough to do some loops with, shoot the moon, all that stuff. You can then choose to either break in the pads that are in there, and because they stick out, they break in rather quickly, and it'll kind of fall into a very good but still very responsive level of play. Or you could put the slim pads in and get it more that like sort of semi-responsive thing that a lot of the other ones are doing, which I think is phenomenal. It's a super comfortable design, nice like sort of butterfly shape, very nice coming back. I'm actually enjoying doing catches with it, and I'll show you some of those catches and then like non-throw hand regens. Been having a ball doing that stuff with it, and I really think this is one you guys want to pick up. It's so fun. I was kind of planning on waiting till I went to Nationals to pick one of these up, but Ben from YoYoFactory, got a shout out to YoYoFactory, Ben, sent me one because he sent me the other Chuck Point to look at as well, the new 2018 version, which you'll get sometime this week. I'll do a review on that one. But they threw one of these in as well, and I can't put it down. This thing is super fun. Just insane amounts of fun. But that's probably enough of me just rambling on about it. Let's go throw it around. I'll show you guys what it can do. Alright guys, we are back with the YoYoFactory Confusion. So, this thing's awesome. So I haven't changed it. This is exactly how it comes out of the box. I broke the pads in a little bit, I guess. It's a little bit It was like really, really responsive out of the box, but it's kind of broken in a little bit, so like trapezes and stuff aren't like grabbing. It just feels very nice. So like just kind of throw some like basic string tricks, like that feels fine. Perfectly responsive enough for stalls. No issues whatsoever. Easy to stall, and there's enough, like there's a little bit, and I'll show you when I take it apart. There's a little bit of a sort of a higher wall before it breaks into the like V shape, to where you can catch the stall still pretty easily. So I really like that. It's a little bit wider than your average slimline, so it's not so tough to get onto the string, which I like a lot as well. But it's sort of a smaller diameter, so it really fits in your hand well, and it's just kind of rounded over beautifully. So it's very comfortable to catch. The blast finish they put on it is perfection. Like, this is amazing. I'm sort of sad that I guess I could try to make it unresponsive, but then I wouldn't be having the fun that I'm having with it right now. The blast finish they put on it is perfect. Great for your your palm grind tricks, your tape measure type tricks. It's a little snaggy still, but it does come with slimmer response pads as well if you want to do more like string tricks with it. So you could definitely do that. But I don't know, I kind of like it a little more responsive because I have so many of those like semi-responsive ones that the responsiveness of this actually is great. I like the sort of perfect level of like very responsive. So I'm enjoying that very, very much. The blast finish is amazing. Perfection, in my opinion. So kudos to YoYoFactory for that. Really, really, really good blast finish. Feels good in the hand, feels good to catch, feels good to hold. Just a really great yo-yo. Pretty cool for like the regen catches and stuff. Regen's very well, very reliable response to sort of get that regen back out. So if you want to do like, you know, your catch and regen combo type things, super responsive, super reliable for that, but still like kind of rim weighted and stable, so like it spins really well. If you want to do a lot of string trick type things with it, you're going to want to put the slimmer pads in, because it is a bit snaggy with the stock pads installed, but it comes with the slimmer pads. So if you want less response, stick the less response in. If you like, you know, stalls with ease, keep the thick pads in and go with those, because I'm having a ball with it this way, honest to God. I literally have not put this down in 3 days. It's been either on my hip or tied to my finger, and it's phenomenal. Really nothing it can't do, and the fact that it comes with extra response pads is phenomenal. So let's go ahead, we'll take it apart and we'll do pros and cons, but hint hint, there's not really any cons. Alright guys, we're back on the desk with the YoYoFactory Confusion. So links to these are going to be down in the description of this video. You want this yo-yo, period. Go buy one. You have 40 bucks. If you don't, go cut some people's grass or something. Get 40 bucks. Go buy this yo-yo. Honestly, most fun you'll have with $40 this summer. I think so, in my opinion anyway. So let's take this bad boy apart, show you guys what the insides look like and how good of a job YoYoFactory did with this. So take it apart there. As you can see, it's a rather simple design, but keep it simple, stupid. That's my motto. So it kind of V's up there, and then it flattens out up to the response pad. I did leave the one that sticks out a little bit, but if you want it less responsive, they did send the slimmer bearings, or the slimmer response pads, to make it less responsive. And to me, that's really just that little bit of extra quality care, just to make sure that you're having fun with it. And you will. There's no way you won't have fun with this. So yeah, nice wall there to catch your stalls. Very easy to catch a stall. Super great, super fun. These response pads, in my opinion, make it perfect and different than everything else that's out on the market right now as far as responsive yo-yos, because it comes very responsive, and you can make it play like your Alley Cat and your Deep State and all that if you want with the slimmer pads, But I like, because I have an Alley Cat and a Deep State and all that, and I play those and I love those. I like it with these thicker pads in because it just gives it a different feel and a different play. Like I said earlier, whomever YoYoFactory has machining their yo-yos is just doing a phenomenal job, because this is beautifully machined. Let me show you what I'm talking about. It's, you know, it goes back together like a dream. See that? That's like one drop smooth put back together. That's perfect. It doesn't get better than that. So YoYoFactory killing it with that. So let's do pros and cons. Well, first let's look at the cup. Cup is pretty reminiscent of like Turbo Bumblebee and all that stuff. Of course, both Ben and Johans were super involved with Playmax back in the day. So like Turbo Bumblebee, Bumblebee GT, all that stuff, which is where this sort of takes inspiration. They were all both heavily involved in those designs, and pretty much they designed the yo-yos. Johans, I think, particularly, he designed those yo-yos with the brake pads and all that stuff. This is really just an updated, more modern version of that, and they killed it. So pros and cons. Pros, this finish is amazing. It takes dings because I hit my rings off of it, but it's okay. I beat up responsive yo-yos, and I'm going to beat this one up because I'm going to play it a lot, and then I'll buy another one because it's that good. So I hope they keep these in the lineup for a while, because holy crap is it fun. Great finish. I mean, it's just so soft and matted and beautiful. It's wonderful. Wonderful finish. It looks good. There are literally no machining flaws on this. This thing is perfect. The response out of the box is perfect, and the fact that they give you extra pads if you want it to be less responsive. You could even switch one pad out. Give it like, maybe I just want it a little bit less responsive. Like, this has so many options just out of the box. You don't have to spend another penny. Just out of the box, you can get the perfect response. That's amazing. I mean, YoYoFactory really thought this out, and I really appreciate that. Stall's great. The wall in there that kind of comes up is perfect for catching stalls. It's a wonderful size. I like that it's kind of small. It's different than everything else that's out right now, and I really can appreciate that. The small size does fit in your pocket quite well. It's a little bulky, but not bad. Fits in your pocket pretty nice. I don't have much problem getting it in my pocket. So it's a great pocket yo-yo. And if you want, you could probably clean the bearing and put the slim pads in and get it pretty unresponsive as well. You'd have to be pretty careful with it. You'd have to be very precise, but because it does have that small bearing, but you could totally do it. And I think options, especially when it comes to responsive or slimline small yo-yos, really is the name of the game. So, you know, YoYoFactory knocked it out of the park in every aspect with this yo-yo. I really think that this might be the best thing that they've ever put out, in my opinion, and for me, and as far as my fun is concerned, this is my kind of fun, and I have been having an absolute blast with this. So, really no cons to speak of at all. It's $40, and you're going to have fun with it. You could buy a $40 video game and not have nearly as much fun as you're going to have with this. I promise you that. I buy a lot of $40 video games. This is more fun. Promise. Anyway, YoYoFactory knocked it out of the park. So no cons to speak of. The YoYoFactory Confusion, go pick one up. There's links down in the description of this video. Go buy it. Do yourself a favor. You'll love it. I promise you. If you don't love it, give it to me. I'll take it. I'll take another one. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. Remember, if you don't go to people's funerals, they won't come to yours. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. Cheers to you. I'll see you next time.